Thank you so much, Gail. You're always so helpful. And it left, I was out in my garden and this thing bit me, and then I got bit again, and then I got a bit again. At least I think that that's what it is. There, and it left lesions on my legs. And honestly, I have tried everything. I've tried Melrose, which is a blend. I've tried um, lavender, of course, because that's good for skin. I've tried purification because that's good for bug bites. I tried everything. And I even tried, lotion, my face cream, because all of it's Young Living, and I don't ever have a reaction to it. But I couldn't seem to get rid of them. So when I did my Christmas order through Young Living, when the holiday shopping guide came up, I decided to gift myself with the CBD. It's called Beauty Boost. I wanted to try it. And we love the CBD oil here in our house. Kenneth swears by it. He puts CBD, the flavored CBD oil in his coffee every day. And he was telling me that he has experienced such a difference in his flexibility, in his, zero stiffness. And Kenneth is 72. So, that's a testimony. So I thought, well, I'm going to get this beauty boost and I'm going to see if it'll make me beautiful. I know that's a hard bill to fill, isn't it? But anyway, I started applying it on these lesions. I figured if it was good enough for the face and to beautify the skin on the face, then it has to have something in it that would be good for lesions. I mean, I'm willing to try anything, as long as it's pure and healthy and healing. Don't you know that after I applied that topically, I did it after a bath, I put it on before I went to bed, and the next morning those lesions were 70% gone, about 70-75% gone. I was amazed. So I have continued to use that beauty boost on there, and they're very small now. In fact, in some places, because I had a lot of them, in some places the lesions are gone, but there's still a little redness. And so I continue to use it, and I use it, and I'm using it every day. So putting these oils on topically is really, really important. It absorbs into the skin very, very readily. Oh, so I was curious, well, what in the world is in the CBD boost, beauty boost, that's so effective? What oils are in here? Well, I was pretty stunned to read on the label that it not only has CBD, but it has a lot of seed oils that are really good for skin. And it has one essential oil in it, and that is the oil of rose. So I was just like, wow, that is phenomenal, that those oils that they've handpicked and put together in that CBD oil. And I know that it has a lot to do with CBD because CBD is so powerful in healing. And I love it when Kenneth gives a CBD class, and I'm sure he will next year as well. But I guess along with rose, because rose is so good for the skin. So anyway, the point being, use your oils topically. Wherever you need to use them topically, and find the oil that works for you. Also use them aromatically. You can't probably see, but I have my Aria diffuser running back here, and it's got Thieves running in it. We're going to talk about Thieves because with what's going on in our country, in the world right now, with virus running rampant and people getting sick, Carol was saying that 11 co-workers in her husband's office came down with COVID. I know one of my very close friends, Sandy Roush, her parents were just tested positive for COVID. Now, thank goodness they're in their 80s, and thank goodness their symptoms are very minimal. They feel achy. They have a little bit of an elevated fever, but like 100.1. But right now they can smell, they can taste. They're not suffering from respiratory issues, no headaches. So, just, keep everyone in our prayers and diffuse. When we did have a few people over for Thanksgiving, and one of the things that we did was I had Shelly go around the house and fill every diffuser on the main floor with these. I had every diffuser, and I don't know how many I have on the main floor, five or six on the main floor, because I have one just about in every room except the kitchen. I don't have one in the kitchen proper. But I had all those diffusers going because I wanted to make sure that there was no airborne bacteria or viruses in my home to share with others, or that if others brought them in, that they wouldn't share them with me. So aromatically, very, very important to be diffusing every day. I diffuse faithfully every single night. And if I go away from home, I take my diffuser with me. And we got into the habit of doing this years ago. Me and gals that would do vendor fairs out of town, or I'd go visit, we got in a habit of taking our diffuser with us. Every single night I diffuse. And this period, during this time, I've been diffusing higher immunity just because of the things that I'm reading and the spiritual enlightenment that I think, is strengthening. That's my choice. I don't have any illness. So, oils are good no matter what. But when we talk about emotions, or, raising our mental acuity, or even our spiritual, awareness, diffusing is a great way to get it into the brain. And then, of course, internally. And when we get to one of the oils that we're going to talk about tonight, I'm going to talk about how I used one internally just a few hours ago, and it helped immensely. But follow the directions on the bottles of the Vitality line. And actually, there are some oils not in the Vitality line that can be used internally. I say that, out of compliance, out of non-compliance, actually, but I've been around the oils long enough to know that there's many oils that we take internally that aren't necessarily a Vitality oil. And if it's, for example, lemon, and it's in a regular bottle as opposed to the white bottle, which is a Vitality bottle, it's the same oil. It's exactly the same oil. And most of you already know that. So you may want to dilute oils if you're using them on babies or in caring for the elderly. Sometimes thin skin can be a little sensitive. Very, very light-skinned individuals may be sensitive to oils, especially if you use the same oil on the same place over and over and over again. You can develop a sensitivity. If you want to know if you have a sensitivity, all you have to do is place one drop of the essential oil on the inside of your elbow, and then close your arm and wait 5 minutes. If it develops a redness, then you probably have a little bit of a sensitivity. Now, this is different from allergies. Allergies, you cannot be allergic to pure therapeutic grade essential oils, because allergies come from protein antigens. That's what causes the allergic reaction, is some type of protein antigen, whether it's pollen or dander or food of some sort that has that antigen in it. It connects to the receptor sites, and then it causes an overproduction of histamine, or it can cause a rash or whatever. But oils don't have protein antigens. So you can develop a sensitivity, but you cannot develop an allergy. So if people say to you, I'm allergic to lavender, they may be allergic to the flower, but they cannot be allergic to the oil. And this is written in The Chemistry of Essential Oils Made Simple by Dr. David Stewart. And he goes into the chemistry and explains that. So remember also not to put them in your eyes, not to put them directly in your ears. You can use oils like helichrysum to help with tinnitus by placing it on the tip of your finger, your index finger, and then placing your finger in your ear. Or if you have an ear infection, you might want to use purification or Melrose, 1 drop on a cotton ball, and then put that cotton ball in your ear. But you would never drop essential oils in the ear. That's just something that you don't do. Also, remember that there are some oils that are photosensitive, which means that if I put lemon on my upper lip and I go out and I walk my 3 to 5 miles every day and the sun is shining, it's going to discolor my skin. So I have to be very cognizant of what oils I use when I know I'm going to be out in the sun. If you're wanting to use citrus oils topically, then I recommend that you put them where the sun doesn't shine. Put them on your belly. Put them on your, even the palms of your hands, because you're not holding your hands, constantly in the direct sun, like your face is constantly in the direct sun if you're walking. That won't probably hurt, because I use a lot of oils when I'm walking, in the car, when I stop, on my way back, mostly Thieves, but I just mix it up. I use Loyalty, I use Melrose, I use Purification. I use a lot of different oils in my car, and I've never had any trouble with photosensitivity on my hands. And I am not going to test the theory on my face, but just know that there are some that are photosensitive. Avoiding direct sunlight to the applied area for at least 12 hours is probably the best safety advice we can give you. Okay, let's move on. Many of you know that I believe that there is not another oil company out there that even comes close to paralleling Young Living. And it's because I'm familiar with the farms, the farming standards, our corporate and our partner-owned farms. I know the standard that Gary set when he set up farms, for example, in Croatia. If there were distillers already at the farm and they did not meet Gary's strict standards of stainless steel, and he's the only one, he developed the crook neck engineering of our distillers. Other distilleries don't use that. And of course, we put crystals in the condensators. Nobody else does that. We have higher standards than anyone else on the planet. And you can go to any distiller and you can take notes and then go to the farm and see the difference, because that's another thing. Our farms welcome you in at any time. Sourcing quality seeds. Young Living is careful about selecting the seed, making sure that it is not hybridized and that it's of the highest quality. We use safe and sustainable practices. We don't use any harmful chemicals on our crops. We use our own essential oils for pesticides. Gary found oils of peppermint and cinnamon and lemongrass, that these were very, very effective in keeping the bugs off of our plants. And healthy plants do not become hosts as much. That's the same thing with the human body. If your human body is healthy, then you won't attract disease or pests or pestilence. So the healthier the plants, the less pesticides we have to use. We also test. There's nobody that does as many tests. We do a minimum of 60 different types of tests on our oils so that we can ensure that you're getting the very purest oil out there. One of the things that comes in the premium starter kit is Ningxia Red. And I told you that I was going to dive deeper. And one of the things I want to tell you about Ningxia Red is its incredible ability to turn around the gout. So if you know anyone who has the gout or suffers from the gout, they need to be drinking Ningxia Red every day, because this actually helps the body rid itself of those crystals that causes that pain from gout. But not only that, Ningxia Red comes in your kit, 2 little packets so that you can try it. And it has over 13 different vitamins and minerals in it. It has more vitamin C than oranges. It has more beta carotene in it than carrots. It strengthens the cardiovascular system and improves eyesight because it is so high in 2 critical nutrients for the eye. These nutrients are zeaxanthin and lutein. These are critical for the eye. If you have floaters, start drinking Ningxia Red. It'll take those floaters away. If you have the beginnings of macular degeneration, drink Ningxia Red. Research, and I have the books on my shelf, research on Ningxia Red has shown that it can reverse macular degeneration. That's a pretty heavy duty statement. But Ningxia Red feeds the cells. This is superfood, guys. This is, and anything that has the Ningxia wolfberry in it. Our sulfurzyme has Ningxia wolfberry in it. Our Ningxia nitro, which is really good for mental clarity. And, you know, when you have a task that's it takes a lot of brain power, that's when I do 2 nitros. My taxes, for one. I will take 2 nitros and sit down and just get her done, because I get mental clarity, I get focused, and I'm able to get through the task. Other complementary products are the Ningxia Zing. And I love the Zing. It's like a healthy little soda. It's got carbonated water in it, and it's got the Ningxia wolfberry in it. And so I make my little mocktails in the afternoon to, you know, boost up my energy along with my multigreens. And it's just superfood again. So take 1 to 2 ounces. I recommend 2 to 4 actually, when you're my age. If you're really already healthy, you know, like Leanne's very healthy, she's young, 1 to 2 ounces is fine for, you know, maintenance and to feed your body those nutrients that you may not be getting in the other foods that you're eating that day. So just, it's kind of like a liquid vitamin supplement, except it tastes really good. I want to talk to you just a little bit about essential rewards, because I'm in this I'm in this for the long haul, but I'm in this because of people. There is nothing more important to me than to help others not only gain their health, but to gain purpose and to improve their life and to find bliss and a reason for living. This is the thing that's the most important to me. So when I say that, I don't look at my business as how many people can I sign up, how many people can I those are not my goals. I don't have a goal sheet here that says, okay, in the month of December, I'm going to sign up 22 people. My goal is to help people save money, get healthy, and all the other things that I just said. And one of the things that really does that, because my heart is in parallel harmony with the heart of the Young Living Company. They want to give you the best value all the time, every time, when and if they can. And one of the ways that they do that is through essential rewards. Essential rewards, first of all, through wholesale buying, getting a premium starter kit, you're going to save 24%. And that's what I want. I want you to save money. I want you to get the very best. You're buying the Cadillac. And oh, by the way, you're buying the Cadillac at wholesale. But then to top it off, Essential Rewards not only saves you money wholesale, but it gives you the opportunity to collect, they're called product points, to convert those points into products so that you can get your product for free. So I'm going to give you an example. I had a guy who, you know, when he signed up for Young Living, he was really excited about getting on a healthier nutrition program. He loves the Ningxia Red. He uses the protein powder every day. We did a Zyto on him and found that he needed pear-free. And then there were a couple of other items that he wanted to get on a regular basis. So he did that for about 4 months. Well, he wasn't real faithful in taking his protein, so he didn't need any more. And I guess his stuff started backing up, and he said, I need to go off of Essential Rewards. And I said, but you have 114 points, product points, that have accumulated that you can choose to order other product, like the Shutrons 3-in-1 men's body wash, which is really a great healthy body wash, or the Shutron men's oil, or Christmas gifts for the family members, whatever you want to spend those points on. And he never answered me. I texted him and he never answered me. And so he lost $114 in free product. That's the beauty of being on Essential Rewards, is you get points for free product that you can spend. And we recommend that you spend them, you start spending them, you know, so that you can get maybe some things that you normally wouldn't spend the money on, to try something new. You also can get some discounted bundles within Essential Rewards that you can't get just by shopping with a quick order. And those things might be the Thieves kit, the Ningxia Red Essential Rewards kit, the Art Skincare is bundled. So there are a few things that are especially bundled for Essential Rewards only. And also, Essential Rewards will qualify you to make sure that you're going to make commissions, so that you can take that money and you can put it towards what you really need to take, you know, to use it for, whether it's reinvesting it in product because you want more product, or maybe it's helping to make a car payment. But whatever it is, make sure that you're on Essential Rewards and you're doing the minimum to make all commissions and bonuses if you're sharing Young Living with others. Okay, let's start diving deep into the oils. First of all, I want to talk to you about Thieves. And it's funny because right now I'm watching a Netflix series called The Medici. And the Medici this is a historical, it's based on a historical family, the Medici family in Italy during the 15th century. And as I'm watching this, this is the period of time that the Black Plague comes through Italy and Europe in general and literally decimates almost entire villages, hundreds and thousands and millions of people. And I'm thinking how strange it is that we are suffering in our own country and across the globe with a pandemic. The Black Plague was actually the impetus that caused us to have the Thieves oil blend, because it was during that Black Plague that that there were a band of thieves that had learned the art of apothecary from their ancestors, that if they used rosemary, lemon, clove, cinnamon, and eucalyptus, that this would keep them from getting sick. And of course, when Gary found that recipe in the 1990s, early 1990s, he actually put a blend of essential oils together and had them tested at Weber State University and found that those oils, that blend, had a 99.9% kill rate on Staphylococcus pneumonia and strep, not to mention 13 different viruses and over 60 gram-negative and positive bacteria. It's amazing what this oil can do. Make sure that you're putting it on your hands. Make sure that you're spraying your mask. Make sure that I put it all over me because it's going to kill bacteria and germs all over. Make sure that if you work in a place like a daycare or you're a home health provider, or you're having to go out there in the public at all, that you bring a bottle of Thieves cleaner and wipe down the areas that you're going to be around. Diffuse if you can. Diffuse Thieves. This is so important. And I will tell you that Thieves was not in the kit that I got 21 years ago. I had to order Thieves separately. And I did so. I got into Young Living in June of 1999. And in November of 1999, I got strep. And I hadn't had strep in a while. And I went to the clinic at Scott Air Force Base, and they did a culture, and they gave me an oral antibiotic, which I took like a good soldier for 10 days. And after 10 days was over, 3 days later, I came down with strep again. And so I called the clinic and I said, what is up with this? And they said, well, it sounds like you have a antibiotic resistant strain of strep. Strep is a bacteria. It is not a virus. And they said, you're going to have to come down here and we're going to have to give you the strongest oral antibiotic that we have. And oh, by the way, we're going to give you a diflucan because you're going to get a yeast infection because this will just kill all the bacteria in your body. And I thought to myself, you know what? I don't want to do that. I'm on this new path to using these oils, and I don't know if we have an oil out there for this or not, but I'm going to call Susan and I'm going to say, I have strep and it is so painful. Do we have an oil for that? And she said, overnight yourself a bottle of Thieves. And of course, I got the 15 ml bottle of Thieves overnighted. I also overnighted our Super C, which everybody should be taking double doses of Super C during COVID. It's imperative that you take Super C during COVID, because this will help to boost your immunity. And we have things in there like lemon oil, which increases the immune system, the white blood count in the body. It has things like that in it. So you want to make sure that you take that Super C. It has lemon, it has orange in it, orange oil. So doing these things. So anyway, I got my 15 milliliter bottle. I had it overnighted. It cost me $21 to have it overnighted back then. That was 21 years ago, and it's about the same now. Of course, we weren't having COVID and problems with trucks having to back up one at a time at our loading docks at Young Living. But with that being said, I got it, and I kept throwing back a couple of drops of Thieves in the back of my mouth every 2 hours, a couple of drops, every couple hours, every 2 drops. And within 72 hours, my strep was completely gone. Now, what's really more important is that that was in November of 1999, and I have never had strep throat again. I have never had it again, which means that many of these bacterias lie dormant and in our bodies. And when we get under stress, when our immune systems are weakened for whatever reason, we're not eating well, we're worried, we're fearful, something horrible happens in our family, and we get stressed out, then our immune system gets compromised, and that bacteria raises its ugly head, and it comes back with a vengeance. Well, if you kill that bacteria, it's not lying dormant there anymore. It's gone. It's gone. And I believe that that's what Young Living oils do. They literally have the ability to destroy the bacteria that can destroy us. That's Thieves. Lavender. I'm hoping that I can give you some diving deep information about these oils that maybe you didn't already know. Maybe you didn't know that you could use Thieves if you have strep, or that you should be using it every single day and spraying it on your masks and all the other things that I said. So when I talk about lavender, I want to talk to you about the number one thing that I learned about lavender 21 years ago, and that is how effective it is for burns. It is unparalleled for the healing of burns, any kind of burns. And I will tell you how I found this out. I had been learning about the oils, and I had heard that lavender was good for burns, and I had taken a casserole out of the oven. It was in a Corningware dish, and I had my oven mitts on, and I took off my oven mitts and I grabbed that casserole and burned my hands right in that soft skin between the thumb and the forefinger. On both hands, I had grabbed that casserole. And as I was jumping around and cursing in the kitchen, my husband said, "Didn't you say lavender is good for burns?" I was still fairly new to the oils, and it wasn't habit yet for me. And I grabbed that lavender and I put it on those burns. And I will tell you this, when you put lavender on immediately, and so I highly recommend that you always have lavender in your kitchen. Always have lavender in your kitchen. When you put that on immediately, it begins to deaden the pain, and it will keep you from getting blisters. There will be no scarring. And this is if you burn yourself with a curling iron, if you, any kind of burn. Oh, I got to put somebody on mute. We got a lot of racket going on here. Okay, there we go. So that's the number one thing, but lavender is good for so much more. Lavender is so good for helping us to relax, if just putting a drop or two in your hands and then cupping your nose and breathing it in. The funny thing about lavender is it's not sedative. In other words, it can give you mental clarity and yet calmness at the same time. If you need sedative, you want things like vetiver and rudigraviolens. That's why it's in rutavala. Cedarwood. These produce more melatonin at night. But lavender is just a very calming. If you suffer from anxiety, lavender is your choice. That and stress away. So just from a perspective of calming and yet clear, calming and yet energizing, this is really kind of it's got a two-edged sword, lavender does. A little added benefit for women who use Young Living mascara, you might want to add an extra drop of lavender. It helps to kill mites in the eyelashes, but it also thickens your eyelashes and helps them to grow. Lavender is also very supportive to the cardiovascular system and to the nervous system. So you might take lavender internally. I know I drink lavender in my water a lot, lavender and lemon, because I use the vitality drops, and that's what are in those drops. There's two types of drops. There's the lavender and lemon vitality, and then there's the bergamot and grapefruit. And I use them both, but I like the lavender because it's just so healing on so many levels. All right, lemon. The number one thing that I learned about lemon was that it boosted the immune system. And that is why it's in Thieves. So another thing that I learned right off the bat was that lemon cleanses the liver and it raises the emotions. It heightens the emotions. So not heightens it in a way, you know, it's like an antidepressant, if I can say that. I can't, but I'm going to say it anyway. It helps to uplift the spirits. It helps to get you above the muck and mire. There's so many things that lemon can do. And you know, we take these simpler oils for granted a lot of times, not remembering how powerful they really are when we use them on a daily basis. Putting lemon in your water every day is really a good practice. Rubbing lemon over your liver every day is a very good practice. This is going to cleanse your liver. You can add it to tea, you know, lemon tea. Oh, it's great. Maybe add a little toothpick of ginger. And I posted a ginger lemon detox drink on Diamond Miners the other day, and people were saying, well, what's the recipe? Well, actually, you know, make it up as you would like. You can put lemon, a couple of drops in a jar, and then put less than a drop of ginger in there. And you might want to add a little stevia. I use stevia a lot in my house. I use Trader Joe's stevia. It's inexpensive, and for me, it doesn't leave an aftertaste. I like stevia. And so, and I think it's an acquired, you know, you acquire it as well. So it's just a habit that you get into, choosing to do things that are healthier for yourself, getting away from, you know, white sugar and all of that. But there's so many drinks you can make like that with oils. Christmas Spirit is one of my very favorites. And Citrus Fresh, which we're going to be talking about here in a minute as well. Other complementary products for lemon are lime and orange. And I always, when I make my Ningxia Red drink with my sulfurzyme, I always put 4 drops of lime oil, because research has shown that lime increases the glutathione production in the brain. And glutathione is a youth hormone. It helps us to get younger, or at least stay the aging maybe a little bit. And I'm doing everything I can for that. Also, lime and orange are good for their calming and uplifting benefits, just like lemon. And you can add a drop of grapefruit and lemon to support healthy metabolism. It increases metabolism and it helps to support healthy weight. Grapefruit oil actually has been known to be a fat buster. And so we recommend that you use grapefruit on those stubborn areas, cellulite areas, areas that you're trying to get rid of fat. Oh, don't get me started on frankincense. And I think I'm going to be giving an Oils of the Bible class here within this month. But there are so many uses for frankincense that it was written in the Ebers Papyrus. I think it was before Christ, that frankincense was used for everything from a broken head to a broken toe. In other words, you could use it from head to toe. And I do use frankincense a lot. I love to anoint my head with it on a daily basis. I love to breathe it in. Notice I said daily. Daily. Frankincense is something that we use a lot of. In fact, I've got it right here because I use it every day. It's right here. I put one of my favorite diffuser blends is equal amounts of frankincense and tangerine, because that citrus tangerine is very uplifting, and frankincense is good for depression as well. Frankincense has been shown to be very effective as an anti-cancer oil. I know when people call me or message me about, Cristina, what oils do you recommend for cancer? There are 3 major oils that I recommend, and that one of them is frankincense. The other is clove because it's so highly antioxidant, and the other is orange. And you can add lavender to that. All 4 of those are very, very good. There are other oils that are good depending on what kind of cancer. And of course, I teach, about sandalwood having a 93.1% kill rate on specific cervical cancer cells. But I want, more than anything, I want people to use these oils on a daily basis so that they never have to treat cancer in any form. Now, is that a guarantee? I cannot guarantee that. The air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food that we eat in the culture that we live in this day and time, promotes ill health. It's a sad state of affairs. And so as our hearts come together in community and in caring for one another, what my prayer is for us is to change that paradigm and to do good to our planet, to each other, and to ourselves. And maybe we can shift the tide. I don't know. But I know that using frankincense, anointing yourself with frankincense every day is going to open up that crown chakra. It's going to give you a deeper spiritual connection. And this is so important now. We're not human beings living spiritually. We are physical bodies that are housing a spiritual being. We are spiritual beings, and we connect through spirituality and, of course, our physical bodies, but More important, we love each other from our heart. And we accept the diversity. Use frankincense. Come to this understanding and know that you can make a difference in this world, however you're called to do that. Okay, Digest. All right, so I'm just going to be frank with you. Today, I had lunch, and it wasn't 30 minutes after I had lunch. Kenneth had made dinner last night, and the refrigerator was full, so I put the pan with the dinner from last night on the garage floor because it was going to be cold enough out there that, you know, it should. I think the average temperature of a refrigerator is like 40 degrees. So I figured it'd be cold enough. And anyway, I don't think that the food had gone bad, but I had lunch, and 30 minutes after I had lunch, something was desperately wrong with my stomach. I don't know what it was, but I did not feel well. Now, I didn't throw up and, you know, any of that, but I got heartburn, and I don't ever get heartburn. So I got my Digest out, and the first thing I did is I rubbed it all over my belly. Then I took 2 essential zyme. I thought whatever's in there needs to be digested. And when this heartburn started, it like came up. I thought I was having a heart attack. You guys who have ever had heartburn, you know how it feels. So I quickly came back in to get my Digest, and I put 1 drop under my tongue. And I went and sat on the couch, and I just waited. I would say maybe 2 minutes after I put that 1 drop under my tongue, the heartburn had completely dissipated. And by, I would say 30 minutes later, my stomach had gone back to normal. You cannot live without Digest. If you ever become nauseous, if you ever get food poisoning by accident, if you ever overeat, and Thanksgiving may have been a good example of that for some of you, Digest to the rescue. This stuff is incredible. How it can take heartburn away in less than 2 minutes. And like I said, I never get heartburn, never. But something did not sit right in my body. And I feel pretty good. I'm not hungry. I had some gluten-free toast before I started class tonight, but I'm good. I'm good. No discomfort, no nausea, no nothing. Digest contains oils that emit a very strong odor, but you can kind of add maybe a drop or 2 of peppermint to mask the intense smell of Digest if it's something that you don't like. But I have come to, that smell is my friend if I have issues. If you're constipated, if you have loose bowels and you need to fix that, Digest, rub it on your belly. Rub it on your belly, take it in your mouth. You can put it in a glass of water. I prefer to just stick it under my tongue so that I can get it absorbed as quickly as possible. You can just add a drop of this to a daily wellness capsule because it's got anti-parasitic properties. It helps dispel gas, anything that's going on in there. And it's all those oils are very, very healing. It has oils like tarragon and fennel. Like I said, peppermint is in there, and you can add more peppermint. But these are all really good oils for supporting the digestive system. A complementary product to Digest is essential zyme. And that's why I took essential zyme when I felt like something was going on with my stomach. It will help break down your food with necessary enzymes. And tonight I will make sure that I take my Life 9 probiotic and that's going to help to support healthy gut flora. So if you combine these 3 products, this is going to support a healthy digestive system so that you can have optimal health, happy emotions, and a strong immune system. Digest is great for babies. Anytime that they're constipated, anytime that they're having issues, Digest to the rescue. Citrus Fresh. Citrus Fresh is a blend of oils, and it has spearmint in it. It has orange, lemon, I believe tangerine is in there, and grapefruit. This is a really great oil to put in your water. You can spray clothes or linens with this fresh scent, but I like to drink it. It helps you to feel uplifted and happy. So it's good for uplifting those emotions. And it also supports the lymphatic system. Citrus Fresh is a great oil blend for supporting the lymphatic system and the immune system. You can rub it on the lymph glands. Remember that this is a photosensitive oil, so make sure that you rub it where the sun doesn't shine, and do it daily. You can mix it with, you can take a bottle, and what I would do is I take an 8-ounce bottle of V6, and I would put a 5 ml bottle of Citrus Fresh. You can do up to 15 mils of Citrus Fresh in an 8-ounce bottle. And I would begin to use that as a massage oil, especially if I had lymphatic issues. Now, my second choice, or even maybe my first choice, these are both first, second choices, would be the Cellite Magic. It has grapefruit in it. It has the V6 in it. It has cypress in it, which increases circulation. So those Cellite Magic and Citrus Fresh are really, really good for supporting the lymphatic system. I love it in my water. Love it in my water. Peppermint, here's another one of those oils. It's just so simple and it's so powerful. I'll never forget the time that my daughter, Sarah, was working about 6 miles from my house in Belleville when I lived in Belleville. And I had just started using the oils maybe a year or two. And I had taught my girls, of course, about, what I was learning. And she called me one night and she says, Mama, I'm at work and I'm so congested. I can't hear. I can't breathe. I'm miserable. Please bring me some peppermint. So I grabbed my bottle and I drove my car down there. And she said, have you ever been so congested that it feels like you cannot hear anything because all this gunk, all this mucus feels like it's solidified in your eustachian tubes, in your throat, in your nose, in your sinuses. And that's what she felt like. She grabbed that peppermint from me. Now she can do this. I cannot. And she took pure peppermint oil. She dropped it into her hand and she rubbed it all over her sinuses, around her eyes, down her eustachian tubes, on her throat. She put a drop in her mouth. And by that time, I would be so overwhelmed by the fumes that I don't know what. But I stood there and I was visiting with her. And within 5 minutes, she had to get a Kleenex box and start blowing and blowing and blowing and blowing. All of that mucus started to loosen up and start to drain. And that's exactly what you need to do. You don't need to dry it up with Dayquil or NyQuil. You need to get rid of all that stuff. Bacteria is in that stuff. You want to get rid of it. And it cleared her all out. Her ears popped. She could hear. Her sinuses drained. It was amazing. And all it was peppermint oil. Now, for me, I can't put straight peppermint on my skin. My skin is too sensitive. I would be very red and very uncomfortable. But what I can do is I can dilute that and do the same thing. Or I can take my little finger and I can put a little dab of oil and I can rub it up into my nose, into my nostrils. That makes a big difference for me. So think about, those types of things. You might even make a nose swipe out of animal scents or rose ointment and a little bit of peppermint oil, just even Thieves. Of course, we make it a nose swipe with Exodus and Egyptian gold, but you can make any kind of nose swipe that's going to work for you. And peppermint really, it's an anti-inflammatory, so it's going to shrink those sinuses, and it's a mucolyptic. Not to mention that it's really good for digestion, and that's why it's in Digize. It's also really great for mental clarity, and that's why I used to encourage my nursing homes to diffuse peppermint oil during times that you wanted to keep your residents alert and active, awake, because it's a mental stimulant. It's very, very good for that. Oh, there are so many things to say about peppermint oil. I can't even begin, but hopefully we're diving a little bit deeper and you're learning a little bit more. Raven. Now see, Raven didn't come in our kit when I started. Raven was a new addition in the last couple of years, but I love the smell of Raven. Raven is awesome in your diffuser if you have respiratory issues. Raven and RC stands for respiratory conditions. Those two are a must have during this time of year. Now, RC has peppermint in it, and so it's going to react just like I was mentioning about the peppermint oil. Raven is a single oil. No, it is not a single oil. Raven has a number of oils in it. It has Ravensara in it. That's what I'm thinking of, is Ravensara. So it's a blend that you can use to support respiratory health. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you right now what's in Raven, because I cannot remember off the top of my head. It has Ravensara, which I just said, which is an expectorant, a mucolyptic. It's also antiviral, anti-infectious, antiseptic, antibacterial, antifungal, and it has been used to treat things like influenza, sinusitis, bronchitis, and herpes. It also has lemon in it, and we've just talked about lemon. It has wintergreen, which is highly anti-inflammatory. Wintergreen is also antispasmodic. So if you're having coughing spasms, Raven is really going to be good for that. It reduces pain and helps to increase respiratory capacity. It's going to help oxygenate the body and the blood, because it's going to help you to take in more oxygen. It has peppermint in it, and it has Eucalyptus radiata. Now, Eucalyptus radiata is the same eucalyptus that is in Thieves as well, and is very antiviral and is supportive to the respiratory system. So it also helps to reduce inflammation of the nasal mucous membrane. So you can see that Raven is going to be one of these ones that you're going to definitely have in your medicine chest all winter this winter, especially with what we're going through. Unfortunately, many of us are not getting sick, but it's because we're using our oils every single day. Here's that Panaway. I was giving you my bursitis story at the very beginning of this class, and Panaway has been very, very helpful for me. When anybody ever tells me that they have plantar fasciitis, Panaway is the one I choose to recommend. It's really good for any type of inflammation and swelling. It's good for bone pain. It's also found, the Panaway, many of the oils in Panaway are found in our Cool Azul Deep Relief roll-on and our pain cream. We have our pain cream. I love that pain cream. And it smells just like Panaway. I love it. We also have the Cool Azul gel, which I don't like as well personally, because the gel kind of gets too watery for me. I like the cream, and I can put the cream where I need it. If I've hit my hip, you know, on a corner of a table, or I've walked too many miles and the ligament in the front of my groin gets tight, and I'll put oils on that. You know, for most of you know me, I walk every single day, 3 to 5 miles. I've got 4.52 in today so far. So every day, just getting that those steps in. Using Panaway has really helped me in a number of instances. I used to have foot pain from wearing combat boots, and I put Panaway on it, and within 3 days, I no longer had foot pain. Try Panaway. If Panaway doesn't work for you, layer it with Copaiba. Copaiba actually enhances the ability. And Copaiba is 55% beta-caryophyllene, which is an anti-inflammatory. So you're just adding anti-inflammatory to anti-inflammatory. It's really, really powerful that way. So apply a few drops to your palm. You can add a carrier oil if you want. You can rub it on your temples if you have a headache. Panaway works great. Deep Relief works great for headaches as well. You don't have to go take some kind of over-the-counter medication. You just rub a little oil on those temples, maybe on the back of the neck, maybe across the forehead, and within 5 to 10 minutes max, that headache should start to subside substantially. Peace and Calming is in the premium starter kit. And I love Peace and Calming because it was one of my first oils. It came in my Essential 7 kit 21 years ago, and I still love it as much today. I don't diffuse Peace and Calming. I encourage others to diffuse it, but I just love to sit and breathe it in my hands. That's how I started using Peace and Calming, and that's how I continue to use it. This is great for kids. I've used it for fussy kids on airplanes. I've used it on my pets when they've had thunderphobia or they've just been anxious. Peace and Calming is great for anxiety. Any type of stressful situation, maybe you're in a car and you're having traffic issues, grab Peace and Calming and just sit with it while you're waiting. Other complementary products are vetiver, which I mentioned is really good for sleep. And Gentle Baby is also a great oil blend that helps to promote calm and relaxation. Keep this handy, especially when you're out in public or traveling, because you never know what stressful situation you're going to come up against. Valor is in the premium starter kit, and Valor is important, especially with the increase in radio waves, 5G. It's not getting better, guys. It's getting worse. We're getting more and more of this stuff, and we sit in front of a computer and we sit in front of a television. And even if you don't have a computer or a television, these radio waves are out there, and it causes an imbalance in the nervous system, in the central nervous system. So Valor balances the electrical energies in the body. Using Valor every day and using it especially when you're around the computer is very important. And here's my Valor right here. Here's my Valor right here. And what I do is I put 1 to 2 drops on my wrists. And I do this, you know, depending on if I'm sitting in front of this all day long. I will be in January when I start doing my taxes. And put 1 or 2 drops on your wrist and then hold your wrist together for about 15 seconds. That will balance. You can put a roller ball in here and you can roll it on the back of your neck. You can have your significant other roll it on your spine. It helps the body to self-adjust. So there has been studies that have shown that before and after using Valor, that your chiropractor can adjust you 75% easier. And so I don't go to my chiropractor without a bottle of Valor. In fact, I have a bottle here and I have one in my pocketbook because I go to the chiropractor once a week. And I put it on my wrists and the bottom of my feet when I go to my chiropractor, and she can adjust me easier, and I will hold my adjustment far longer. So that's something that you need to know about Valor. Valor is an important part of the daily happiness protocol. And we've talked about this protocol in classes before, where we use Valor on our wrists, joy over our heart, harmony on the solar plexus, and white angelica on the shoulders and throughout the entire auric field. Valor is a must use every day. Stress away, I mentioned this briefly. Keep this model in your purse, in your briefcase, or your car so that it's on hand when you need it throughout the day, especially if you suffer from anxiety. You've got to have stress away. Anxiety can tend to cause IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, IBD, irritable bowel disease. It can cause inflammation of the bowel like colitis. These are anxiety and stress related diseases. It's how our minds process what's going on. And so by supporting our emotional mind with oils like Stress Away, it's just very, very helpful. And this is a great one to put a roller ball on as well. So you can just roll it on your wrists, roll it on the back of your neck. It's great for all of that. Something else that comes in your premium starter kit is the Thieves spray, and this is perfect for the mask that we're having to wear. 1 squirt is all I use. 1 squirt, and I don't even have to squirt it every time because it kind of permeates that mask and stays in that mask for a while, and then I wear the mask and I'm not breathing anything bad in. I really don't know that masks prevent bacteria and viruses from entering your nose. I mean, think about it. If you're breathing heavy, you're really sucking stuff in. I don't think that a regular cloth mask is going to filter every single thing out there. But I do believe that Thieves is going to be an adjunct. It's going to be helpful. You can also spray doorknobs, restrooms, shopping carts when you're out and about, especially now. And Young Living had such an increase in sales of Thieves once COVID hit, because people know that this is what they need and they can trust this. I mean, there were hand sanitizers out there that were being recalled. They were so suspect of, poisonous ingredients or too much alcohol that was too drying, causing cracking and bleeding. None of ours will do that. Some complementary products with this are the household cleaner, the Thieves foaming hand soap, the Thieves dish soap, and the Thieves laundry detergent. And here's this hand sanitizer now. And of course, we get it in the big bottle or the big brown bottle now, because you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself from getting sick. Okay, I talked to you about essential rewards, and now I'm going to open it up for any questions. So I'm going to check the chat real quick. See if there's any questions there. What oil did you say you diffuse every day? Oh, right now, Nancy, I'm diffusing higher unity. I mix it up, but one of my favorite blends is frankincense and tangerine. So those are the two that I mentioned tonight.
Thank you. That sounds great.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. It's good to hear your voice. Okay, does anybody have any comments? Anything?
This is Carol. I have a question.
Okay.
You talked about the cellulite magic and being helpful for the lymphatic system, and I was wondering if it would still be helpful on areas where there's a fair amount of fibrosis.
Well, it surely can't hurt, Carol.
And I do the citrus fresh and water every day.
Good.
So I'm doing that.
Good.
But I am having a lot of trouble with a lot of fibrosis, and I've been wrapping my legs for 16 weeks, and I still haven't been able to get a lot of the fluid out of my thighs. And I was thinking of maybe getting that and putting it at least around the inguinal nodes. I wasn't sure what would be most beneficial.
Putting it around where?
The inguinal nodes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it surely can't hurt. I know that you are struggling with this, and have for a while.
And especially now that I can't go to a pool or anything. Yeah, it's been bad. And I've been using the Thieves the ways you said, and I even got Patrick to start using the peppermint oil for his headaches and things. So
awesome.
I do a lot of it.
That is awesome. I'm so glad.
And definitely Thieves on the mask.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, so anything that can support, your lungs is going to. Do you have fibrosis in the lungs or in the?
No, it's just in the tissues, like especially my thighs and that area, where I can't get the fluid to drain out, even with pumping 4 hours a day.
Are you using the cellulite magic?
No, I have never gotten it. That's why I was asking about it.
Oh yeah, see, that's going to increase circulation. That's got cypress in it. And that's why I like it so well. Citrus Fresh is really great to drink. It's also good to put right on the body, but it doesn't have cypress in it. And cypress is so good for increasing circulation.
Okay, I'll try it.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Christina, it's Nancy B again. I've got another question for you.
Sure.
My nephew is a school teacher. His wife's a school teacher. They got 2 young kids, like 13 and 10. I wanted to send, he had a suggestion on his Amazon wish list for a set of 30 oils for $15. Well, of course, I'm not going to buy him that, but I wanted to send him some Young Living, and
Sorry.
and I know it's pathetic. So I thought about sending him some vitalities like peppermint, lemon, lime, but now I'm thinking maybe Thieves might be a better. We don't spend a lot on each other, but I would spend more, just to get them started in something like that. Do you think Thieves might be a better choice for them?
Yeah, right now during all this stuff, Thieves is good. Thieves is good. If you wanted to just get three or 4 oils like Thieves, lemon, peppermint, those are 3 oils that I think are mainstays. If you
Okay.
have to choose 3, and
Good.
the lemon is very inexpensive.
Yes.
And peppermint is a little bit more, but
But I have several, so I could send one. So.
Oh yeah, you probably got some free with your essential rewards. Yeah, but those are the 3. I think, if you're asking my opinion, those are the 3. If I had to choose 3.
Okay. Good.
To give as a gift. I mean, you know, frankincense is good too, but my goodness, if you're not spending that much on each other, you don't want to spend that kind of money
Right.
on frankincense. So
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
you're welcome. Yeah. Anyone else? These are good questions. I like questions. Hey, Nikki, I didn't get a chance to say hi to you. It's good to see you, honey. I see Al is on. I know a lot of people came in after I got started. Got a couple of Janets on and Aletha, hey, and Shirley. Jillian got on and Deirdre. Deirdre, you were supposed to call me and something happened. I don't know. I didn't ever get a call from you. We were going to talk and it's been 2 weeks since we've talked. So I'm around tomorrow. If you want to give me a call, I think I sent you my phone number. All right. No other questions?